Hello, my spooky eternal readers, and welcome. Today I am going over my February TBR, um, my hopefuls. So it's about to get interesting. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have a lot. Okay, so you know that I am currently finishing In the Event of Love. I will pop up a picture here. It is the audiobook. It is Sapphic. Uh, Second chance romance. Loving it so far. I only have like 2 hours left of reading in it, or listening, but I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So I want to finish In the Event of Love, and I would like to start another audiobook after that. I haven't chose one yet. Um, but I do plan on reading one audiobook a month. So even if I don't get to choose another one, this one can count as number two for the year. So I'll still be right on track. So either way, it's fine. I am going to finish The Two Towers. I would like to finish creating character arcs, but if I don't finish it this month, that's perfectly fine. And then I need to finish The Animal on my Kindle. I am going to put up pictures here. Uh, in the Shadow of the Fall, it's actually on my phone. It's a NetGalley arc. The Crystal Arrow, another ebook. Arc. I actually plan on finishing the Crystal Arrow this weekend. Um, and then I have an arc coming in tomorrow called Wicked Revenge. I just signed up for it. It's coming in tomorrow on Book Funnel. It's dark romance. It looks kinky. I'm into it. I also signed up for like 3 or maybe 4 other arcs. TikTok has been bad for me. But not really, because they're all indie authors, and a couple of them are diverse authors, BIPOC authors, so I am all in. Um, Obviously, since I've already signed up for 3 or 4 additional arcs, but I'm already reading 2, I am getting another one tomorrow. I can't remember when the other 3 or 4 is coming in. I think they're all in February, but I could be mistaken. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out somehow or another. Also, I want to read My Father is a Serial Killer and My Son is a Murderer, because the author, I will pop them up and the author will be on the books. I can't remember his name right now. The author, uh, I did apply for another arc. It'll be coming through on Book Funnel as well soon. I need to check on that. Because I signed up through Facebook. Uh, he said I didn't have to read the other 2, that they're all like standalones, but I would like to read the other ones too, because I like serial killer books and thrillers. So I would like to read those 2, and then of course read the arc. I can't remember what the name of the arc is now, but I will pop it up here. Um, I am going to read Saving Scarlet by C.A. Varian as well. She is an author friend of mine, and her release just came out. Uh, it's been super exciting because she got the orange flag and everything, and I pre-ordered her ebook. It's in. I've been wanting to read it, but I've just been so busy. So I plan on reading that entirely this weekend as well. It is dark romance. Um, I want to read A Coffee Shop Romance by Amber Kessner as well. It is also ebook. She is an indie author friend of mine. It is sapphic. I want to read it. I want to read Cruel Beginnings ebook from by Laura Parrish. And I can't remember the other author's name right now. I will pop it up here. It's been on my list for a while on my Kindle. I need to read it. If you can't tell, I am trying to get through my Kindle TBR as well. I think sort of as a goal this year to clean out my Kindle TBR. So I'm working on those too. And then to move into the physical TBR, because you know that I have to read at least 3 physical TBR books from my shelf. So it's February, it's the month of love. So I do love poetry. I've had a deep love of poetry for most of my life, and I really want to get into reading more modern poets. I read Kyle Core's In the Shadows last year, and it was a horror poetry book. Absolutely fucking loved it. He quickly became uh, my favorite modern poet. Um, However, I want to read Love Poems for Anxious People by John Kennedy. I actually was skimming the front of it last night to like read the dedication and stuff, and he's hilarious. I am going to get through this pretty quick, and I can't wait to read it and discover another poet. Also, there is a TikTok author that I have been talking to. Uh, she is coming out with her poetry book on Valentine's Day called Subtle Messages. And I have full intentions of buying and reading that book this month as well because it's poetry. I want to read more poetry. She's indie and she's super, super sweet. So I definitely want to read it. That'll be 2 poetry books. One that I have a physical right now, and one that I want to buy and order. I want to read The Undetectables by Courtney Smith. This is okay. Hold on. Be gay, solve crimes, take naps. I mean, what more do you need? This sounds uh comedic. It's gay. It's who done it solving crimes, and um, where's it at? There's a part. Okay, I'll just read the back. A magical serial killer is stalking the occult town of Racton. Hypnotic whistling causes victims to chew their own tongues off, leading to a killer being dubbed the Whistler. Original, right? Enter the Undetectables, a detective agency run by 3 witches and a ghost in a cat costume. Don't ask. They are hired to investigate the murders, but with their only case so far left unsolved, will they be up to the task? Mallory, the forensic science expert, is struggling with pain and fatigue from her recently diagnosed fibromyalgia. Cornelia is suddenly stirring all sorts of feelings in Mallory. Diana is hitting up all her ex-girlfriends for information. And not forgetting Ghostly Theodore, deceased, dramatic, and also the agency's first unsolved murder case. With bodies stacking up and a case leading them to mysteries at the very heart of magical society, can the undetectables find the Whistler before they become the killer's next victims? I mean, it's got everything. It sounds fun. And I mean, it's gay, it's detective whodunit, it's got ghosts and a cat costume, and I'm just all for it. I can't wait to read this. It looks a little thick, but it feels super super light. But I feel like I'm gonna go through this really quick because it just feels like it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited for it. I want to read Barbed Wire Heart by Tess Sharp. This is another off of my physical TBR, obviously. Uh, Family is everything until you betray them. This is about Harley McKenna. She is the only child of a crime family, and there is a rival crime war thing going on, and she's supposed to be like taking over soon. And instead, she rebels and she decides that she's going to take over by wiping them all out. And it sounds awesome. It sounds kick ass. So I want to read it. I also, as soon as I finish the Two Towers, I want to start reading The Return of the King. If I don't finish this by the end of February, that's fine as long as I start it. I also want to read Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I've heard a lot of differing opinions and reviews about this book, but I love sci-fi, and I really want to start getting more into sci-fi. So if you have any sci-fi recommendations, please let me know, especially if they're BIPOC or LGBTQ+. So, and bonus points if they're indie. Um, so I definitely want to start reading more sci-fi. This I seen on uh, a book review on BookTube here somewhere, and I was hooked before I could even hear the rest of the review and ordered it off of Amazon. So the gist of it is there is a ship that disappeared in space, and now it has reappeared. It has reappeared, and the if I remember correctly, the crew of the ship is all either missing or like dismembered all over the place. So the people that find the ship are going into the ship to try to figure out what happened, and crazy stuff happens. I read, I watched a book quite, I watched a movie quite like that here a few months ago, and I enjoyed it, but it had a lot of other elements in it that are not in this, so it should be pretty different. Um, but just the idea of it being in space and terrifying element of that, and dead silence because there is no sound in space. Um, it's terrifying, and I can't wait to read it. Also, because it is the month of love, I want to read one of my romance books, Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. Yardley. Um, it just looks super cute. I mean, look at the art. I'm not even looking into the blurb at all. I bought this because of the cover, and I'm just rolling with it because of the cover. Because it's super cute, like cozy cabin vibes, and oh my gosh, I just realized too that there is little, of course that's where the role playing comes in. Little like D&D characters down here. Fuck yes, I'm reading this. Also, my last on my physical TBR for February is Cursed, written by Thomas Wheeler. This I don't know, was a Netflix series. And I had started watching it and loved it. And then when I was at the store, I seen this and I was like, ooh, like that, this cover is beautiful. And it's one of the only type of things where, uh, where the Netflix covers or the movie covers are just never as pretty as the original. I think this book was actually written because of the show. I think I could be completely wrong. Should probably look into that. Um, but the cover is beautiful, and uh, it's got like art in it and stuff. And it's actually super heavy. I don't know why the hell it's so heavy, but like I could literally knock somebody out with this, like easy. But it's got, wow, turn it the right way. See? It's got foiling and it's like raised, which is nice. Um, but where I, excuse me just a second, allergies, where I think I watched the whole first season before I stopped watching the show. I don't have a lot of time for Netflix. Um, I think I'll speed through this really fast, and I really enjoy the premise of the show, the characters, everything. So I think it'll be really easy for me to get through this, and just a fun read. I love fantasy. I love stuff about like the cursed and everything. We were born in the dawn to pass in the twilight. The muse stared at the sword. It radiated a cold light and felt feather soft in her hands. The next wolf scratched his way to the ledge, and Nemu divided its skull right down the snout, the blade lodging in the rock a good 3 inches deeper than the blow. Nemu fought to free the heavy blade as another monster caught her elbow and dragged her over the lip of the tabletop rock. Um, and I remember that scene vividly from the show, so I cannot wait to start reading this. And it's one of my fantasy novels up on my TBR shelf, so I think where I have watched the show, it'll be easy for me to get through, and it'll be easier for me to knock that off the TBR list. So yeah, so that's my TBR. Thumbnail. um, Before I hit myself in the face with all these books. Plus, like, what was it, like 10 ebooks that I'm going to be reading. About 5 of them are going to be arcs, and the other 5 are books that I really want to get to. So, yeah, I have a lot on my list to hopefully read this month, but I think it's going to be fun. Like, this is a lot, but it has a wide range of stuff. I don't think I have any horror on here. No, the animal is horror. Okay, so I have horror, I have romance, I have dark romance, I have thrillers, I have craft, I have poetry, I have fantasy, I have sci-fi, um, I have I think I said romance, dark romance. I mean, I have a mix of just about everything on here. I even have a craft book. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. This month for the reading vlog, what I'm going to do, instead of it being like a specific type of reading vlog like I have been doing, this month's reading vlog is just going to be how many books can I read in a week. And we're just going to see how many books off of my TBR for February that I can read in a week. So we will see. I am going to start filming that this weekend. And we'll see how much I can do. I gotta take my allergy medicine. So yeah, that is my physical TBR. My reading journal still has not shipped, but it is showing that the payment finally went through. Why doesn't Amazon like take our money immediately? Why do they have to wait? But they finally took the money, which means that they are going to ship it soon. So I'm hoping they'll ship it today, and then I can start uh, putting in all my stuff for my reading journal because I'm excited. So yeah, that's my February TBR, hopeful TBR. It's a pile, but I'm excited and I can't wait to see how all of this stacks up by the end of the month. All right, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining and watching, and I will see you next time, spooky eternal readers. Have a great day and read something fun and spooky.